Fluid Compartments of the Body by Kenneth Holmes. There are two types of fluid compartments in the body: the intracellular fluid compartment and the extracellular fluid compartment. The intracellular consists of all fluids found within the cell. This makes up about 40% of our overall body weight. The extracellular fluid is any fluid located outside of the cell. This makes up about 20% of our overall body weight. Water makes up less body weight percentage in females because they have more body fat. More body fat reduces the percentage of water in the body because water and fats don't mix. Intracellular fluid is made up of roughly 2/3 of the overall water in our body. It is located inside of the cell and is known as cytosol. This is the aqueous solution that is surrounding all of the organelles in your cells. This keeps the organelles cushioned and safe. This also allows for the easy transfer of much needed ions. Without the cytosol, bringing potassium into the cell and moving sodium out of the cell would be very difficult. Furthermore, inciting an action potential would take even more work. Without the fluid that allows for the movement of those ions, it would require something to use energy to physically move them. The composition of cytosol consists of potassium, thanks to the help of potassium-sodium pumps, phosphates, proteins, and magnesium. These different ions, are utilized in cell functions and help create the membrane potential. The extracellular fluid is made up of 1/3 of the overall water in our body. This is split between intravascular and interstitial fluids. The interstitial fluid makes up about 75% of the extracellular fluid, while the intravascular fluid makes up about 25% of the extracellular fluid. The main thing that separates these points are their ions. Intravascular fluids, which make up about 5% of our body weight, is located in our plasma. Knowing that water will disperse throughout the body until it reaches osmotic balance. If doctors need to add 1 liter of water to a patient's bloodstream, they know they would need to give the patient at least 4 liters of water. This is because of how water does its trading. If we are placing 4 liters of water into a vein, 1/4 of that will stay as intravascular fluid, and the other 3/4 will move into the interstitial fluid. Interstitial fluid is any fluid located outside of cells and in the interstitial spaces. The interstitial spaces are the empty spaces between cells. This makes up between 12 to 15% of body weight. The ionic composition of interstitial fluid consists of sodium, once again thanks to this potassium-sodium pump, calcium, chloride, bicarbonate, glucose, and proteins. These ions outside help create a membrane potential with the surrounding cells. The sodium can move into the cell to create an action potential, and the calcium can help with this as well. The bicarbonate comes from CO2 given off from the cell. The CO2 mixes with the interstitial fluid and makes H2CO3. Because H2CO3 is unstable, a proton is given off, making the area more acidic and creating HCO3- bicarbonate.